So is David Cameron's call for good immigration, not mass immigration, the answer to Britain's problems? Well, I'm joined in the Gherkin now by Nigel Farage, who's the leader of the United Kingdom Independence Party, and Subhash Thakrar, who's the chairman of the London Chamber of Commerce. Welcome to you both. We really appreciate you being here. Let's start off with that line. Good immigration, not mass immigration. Is that the answer?
Well, he's right, isn't he? I mean, this is what the Australians do. They say we want people because they've got skills, they've got something to offer, they speak the same language as us, they're law-abiding people. I mean, yes, of course, that's the sort of immigration into Britain that we want. It's not what we've had, though, is it, since 1997, where we've had an unprecedented number of people coming into this country. And so, I mean, I applaud Cameron for at least trying to get a debate going on this, because we should be talking about it. But David Cameron's difficulty is that, of course, as part of the European Union, we have a total open door to all of those European countries. We're not selective, and we've had a massive oversupply of unskilled labour for the last 5 or 6 years.
We'll come back to that point a bit later on. What's your opinion?
Well, my view is, well, I'm about business. London Chamber is about business. It's about the British economy and growing the economy. Immigration has always done well from the business point of view for our country. This is the time when this particular capping that is going on, which is not really helping, it's bringing a lot of uncertainty. International businesses cannot do business here that easily these days. If they want to apply for their employees to come here, it takes a long time. So this is the issue. It's the uncertainty for the business. And business immigration should be allowed because that is what is good for business. If there are other areas where immigration can be controlled in a manner where it is illegal or not happening in a correct manner, that's a different matter. But when it comes to business, I think it is. So in that sense, I think good immigration, if it is to do with business, it's good.
But the government isn't going about it the right way,
yes,
you think?
Yes.
Do you agree? Do you think that perhaps we could be doing better? I mean,
yeah,
business does benefit, as we were hearing here, from having...
Oh, look, I mean, here we are in the city. I mean, this is an international trading zone. I worked here for 20 years myself before being in politics. Of course, they're the kind of people that we want. But what we need to do is draw a distinction between people coming to work and having a work permit and people having the right to settle and entitlement to social security. This is the big problem that we've got. Now, on May the 1st, there is a change to our social security rules, and people from 8 East European countries, those that joined the EU in 2004, from May the 1st, they will have full entitlement to the entire benefit system in this country, which means another big wave of Eastern European migration is coming.
But isn't that a bit of a red herring? I mean, if you look at the net immigration figures, then the immigrants from EU countries is actually quite a small proportion.
Well, actually, if you look at it cumulatively, since 2004, it's at least 750,000 extra people that have decided to settle, have decided to settle here, although we're pretty unsure about some of these figures, but at least 750,000. In 2010, it is true, there were fewer people coming from EU countries, but once this change in the social security rules kicks in on May the 1st, I think we'll see many more again. And surely the whole point, and where we would agree, is we want to have controls on this. We want to decide the kind of people that we want to come here, either to work or to settle. And the big problem, the elephant in the room, is that with the EU, we've lost that ability.
But you know, controls are difficult to apply. If you're going to do it with a broad brush approach of having a cap, you know, the cap is applied every month. A businessman is going to apply for one of their senior employees to come here. They fail reaching, the cap is reached, so they can't bring the employee over. You cannot do this for business. You cannot bring that uncertainty that otherwise keeps coming. On the one hand, we go out abroad. I was there on a trade mission just 2 weeks ago into East Africa. We talk about come to Britain to do business. And on the other hand, we have serious problem when they try to do this. They have all kinds of issues that they are faced with. So we have to make a special case for business. Business needs to be taken care of in a different way, much more organized way, but you cannot do it with a cap.
Well, let's do it with work permits. That's the point. Let's draw this distinction between people coming to work and people coming to settle. And if we did that, I think we'd all be much happier.
Let's move on, because we're running out of time a little bit. I just want to ask you about this other line that David Cameron was speaking about, saying that the welfare system seems to be blamed for some of this. It isn't an incentive to work, and therefore that's one of the reasons why we've seen immigrants taking a lot of jobs.
But he's right about that, and of course, you know, we advocate no tax on minimum wage, because at the moment, if you come off benefit and go to a lowly paid job, your marginal tax rates are such there is a huge disincentive to go out and work. So on that point, I agree with the Prime Minister,
Yes,
but to deal with that will take some real courage.
Yeah, I tend to agree with that. We do need to create the right incentives for people to go to work and look for work desperately, as immigrants traditionally have done. I mean, I'm an immigrant, and when I first came, I had to work very hard to get a job. And the energy required was quite heavy, but that's what it's about. So I think we need to give same incentives to people living here who can also go and work hard to get a job.
Well, Farage, Nigel, we are out of time, I'm afraid. So much more we could
Thank you.
debate, but we are out of time. Thank you very much for joining us tonight.
Thank you.